everyone, this is Jill for the Stamp Simply Ribbon Store, and today we are going to make this farmhouse animal thank you card. Let's get started. All right, I have some basic supplies. I have some white cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5. I have black cardstock that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then a craft cardstock base that is 4 1/4 by 11, scored in half at 5 1/2. I'm going to put these two pieces aside and we're going to go ahead and get started on the white. So what we're using today, we are using the farmhouse dies and the farmhouse signage coordinating set. So you can see here that there are some farm animals, farm fresh, just a note, and some coordinating dies. I do have a few of them removed because I have them ready to use for the card. And I have chose the thank you from the Farmhouse All Occasion Greetings, which include quite a few. So you, depending on your occasion, you can change up the sentiment with this card. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the white cardstock and the thank you stamp. And I'm going to go ahead and position that in my MISTI. I have both MISTIs out today for this video to make the filming go just a little bit quicker. So I have put this in place. I like to put my cardstock in the bottom corner and then position the sentiment towards the left. We are just going to go ahead and close that up. So sometimes this moves a little, so when it's in the corner you can put it back, and then sometimes you get a little ink residue if you didn't clean your stamp like I did. And then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to stamp that. So if you don't get a full image, the MISTI allows you to restamp in that exact same location. So there we have a perfect thank you, and we're going to go ahead and take that out. I'm going to put this MISTI aside. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to add the stencil. This is the Tim Holtz collection mesh layering stencil, and I chose it because it looks like chicken wire and it has a very farmhouse feel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this towards the edge of the sentiment, and I'm only doing a partial stencil. So I have Distress Oxide here in linen and a blending brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some ink on the brush and just kind of hold these in place. You don't need a ton of ink for this one. You want it to be light. And then I'm just going to go around like this, and I'm not pushing very hard. Pick up a little bit more ink here. And then you're just going to go with your brush till the ink wears off around it, and it will automatically fade to lighter. So when you pull that off, you have your stencil. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp and die cut some animals. So here I have these preloaded in my mini MISTI with a scrap of white. I'm just going to move the bar magnet here. Again, the MISTI is really helpful to get nice solid black animals. So you can see here that I've inked them up, and I'm just using my black Memento ink, and I'm just going to use the back of my sleeve there, and you can see here that they did not come out all solid. So this is where the MISTI comes in handy, and you'll be able to ink them 2, 3, 4 times until you get the desired color that you are looking for. So we are almost there. So sorry if the table is shaking. And then this should do it. There we go. Now we have perfect solid animals. So I'm going to take this, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and die cut these. So I have the dies pulled out, and I have a little piece of washi tape to hold them in place. And I'm going to go ahead and line these up like this. And we're just going to hold that washi tape down so it stays in place and doesn't wiggle when I go to die cut it. Same thing with the cow. I'm going to just line that up, have it held in place with the washi tape, and then I have the chicken. And if you've seen some farmhouse signs, the animals are always stacked on the signs that people are using in their home decor. All right, so now we're ready to go. For the video, I'm using my little Sizzix Sidekick just because the plates are tiny and these stamped images are on the smaller side. So they go ahead and they fit real easy into this little tiny machine. So sorry, the camera's wiggling. Okay. So now we can go ahead and pop these out and put those off to the side. So we have the chicken, we have the little piggy, and the cow. I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way. And I just have some foam squares here, and we're going to put those right on the back. So one for him, one for the pig. And if you turn the chicken just the right way, I can't quite pick him up, you can fit this little tiny foam square in there. Otherwise, you might have to trim it. All right, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna stack them. I'm gonna start with the cow towards the bottom, and we're gonna use the pig. And I have them going in alternate directions. If you look at those farmhouse signs, the animals are facing in alternate directions. They're not all going the same way. And then we're gonna put that chicken right on there. Now, you could mount this right on white and it would look perfect, but I decided it needed some extra layers. So I have a black cut to 1/8 of an inch larger. We're gonna go ahead and put some adhesive on there. We're just gonna line that up, and that black pulls in the animals. And then we're gonna go ahead and put that right on the front of the card base. There you have it. So we're gonna just tape that right down. And there you have this adorable farmhouse card. In addition to this card, I have 2 other variations of the stacked animals. I have this card here, which has them stacked on a scallop die cut. Same design, movement of the sentiment to the top of the panel. And then I put wood grain behind the paper, and I will link to this paper, but any style wood grain paper that you have will work. And I used some white seam binding to add some ribbon to it. And then I also have this design as well. Same stacked animals. I used the arrows that cross at the bottom to kind of anchor them, and I added a rhinestone to that with the same thank you sentiment. Any gingham, plaid type lighter colored paper that you have in your stash will work. So here they are. And thank you for joining me today.